Hello lovers, welcome to the Butterfly Effect podcast hosted by myself, Lauren Amy. This is for those who are ready to take up space, who are living a soft life loudly and are ready to savor the sweetness in each moment. Here we're going to embrace transformation, the beauty of the in-between and the magic of becoming. So pull up a seat and listen in because life is delicious and it's about goddamn time we eat it up. Hello, my stunners. Happy Wellness Wednesday. Welcome back to the Butterfly Effect podcast. How are we feeling today? You'll be pleased to know that I remembered to make a cup of tea before I press record. So I've literally brought the tea in many ways, and I'd love to have a bit of a conversation with you today. Okay. And this is off the back of a somewhat unfortunate experience that happened to me yesterday, and that is putting it very, very lightly. And I'm somewhat hesitant in talking about this because I really like this podcast to be a pleasant, empowering, safe space where, I encourage you to take up space. I encourage you to use your voice. I encourage you to exist in your entirety exactly as you are, and love all that you are, the many layers of yourself, the many people that you're becoming, the many people you were before. I really want this to be a space that celebrates all of that. And I'm actually quite disheartened at the fact I'm coming at this with this kind of negative undertone about the tragedy that is online dating. Okay. And I like this to be a hopeful space. I like to see the light in all things, but I'm not going to lie, honeys, I'm struggling to see the light in online dating. Now, what I do not wish to hear here, and I know it comes from a place of love, I do not wish to hear, oh, you'll find that person one day, keep going. Like, I had someone message me yesterday being like, oh, I didn't think it would ever happen to me, but it did. And I'm like, I know this comes from love, but this is not going to help me right now. Okay, so a little bit of backstory in case you aren't aware. I received some very unfortunate, very vulgar, gross, disgusting voice notes from a person I had matched with on Hinge. We were matched for a total of 45 minutes, and in that time, I was sexually harassed, essentially. To put it lightly, that's what it was. We're not going to mask it. That's what it was, okay? And I shared it on my close friends on my Instagram, and I have now since shared the whole thing on TikTok as well. So if you want to hear what was said, feel free to go to my TikTok. I'll put a link in the episode description. However, I am going to put a warning here because it is disgusting, okay? The aggressive undertone, the sheer vulgarity of it is disgusting. Okay, so if you don't want to hear anything like that today, just don't go. Okay, if you want to listen to it so you get a bit more of understanding of where I'm coming from, then yeah, feel free to have a little look. Another reason why I put it on TikTok and I wanted it to be seen is because I wanted his profile to be seen, because I know lots of people who are dating in this area of a similar age. I do not want anyone else to go through and receive what I received yesterday. Okay, so it's a warning, essentially, that this person is out there. There's many others out there, and to avoid at all costs, okay? And what I'm realizing is that online dating is just becoming incredibly unsafe. It just feels an incredibly unsafe place for me to date, for me to show up in. Now, I've known this for quite some time, and it's got to a point now where I'm sick of rising above things. Why am I always the one that's having to rise above, move past it, move forwards? It doesn't matter. Let it go. Why am I the one that's constantly having to rise above, where these people, they get to hide behind a screen, sexually harassing people and getting away with it without any consequences? My day yesterday was completely ruined from what I received. And no one should have to go through that. No one should have to receive what I received. And it's angered me, it's frustrated me, it's upset me. And, I woke up this morning and I was thinking, okay, it's another day, move on. And yes, I have calmed down, but that doesn't mean I want to not talk about it. I'm not going to completely move past it and forget it ever happened. It's just incensed me even more, and it's further solidified the belief that online dating is an absolute tragedy. Now, I know, again, there's going to be people coming at me being like, oh, keep going, you'll find the one, there's nice ones out there. But I would actually love to hear from the nice ones, because I would love to know what their thoughts are on online dating, because everyone complains about it, right? No one likes it. No one's having a good time. Then I know some people have had like amazing first dates. They've met really nice people, and that is amazing, but it feels like such a rarity, okay? And I'm hearing so many male voices complain about online dating, but I'm like, okay, what are we doing about this then? Because men need to be calling each other out. Boys need to be calling out other bad behavior. And this is, again, why I wanted to share the profile, because that is someone's son, that is someone's brother, that is someone's employee. Do they know who that person is behind closed doors? Do they know this person is a plumber who perhaps is going into people's homes, might be going into a lone female's home? Is he going to act like that in person? You never know. People need to be made aware. People need to call it out, because it can't keep happening. And I know this is a tale as old as time. This has been going on for as long as humanity existed, I'm sure. Okay. And I don't know if my voice is going to be the one that changes anything, but I'm hoping it just contributes to a conversation that needs to be had, because I'm done with being diminished and silenced. One of the things that really gets me with this whole situation, the whole online dating, is that there have been many times where I have questioned whether I should even have yoga teacher featured on my profile, whether I should even list my career. Okay. And that's something that's so disheartening for me, because I'm so incredibly proud of the career I have built, the business I have built for myself, because I know the power in it. I know the healing it provides. I know the transformation it provides. And it's not just for me, but for others around me. It's that ripple effect, Yoga is so much more than, I don't know, skimpy leggings and downward facing dogs. It is so much more than that. So when a guy sees yoga, and immediately thinks some sort of like, I don't know, sexual fantasy, and cooks it up in his head and feels like he can go ahead and just say whatever he wants, it boils my blood, okay? Because it immediately puts my values, my passion, my commitment to show up and offer this beautiful, magnificent tool into the world, it puts that in a little box. It diminishes it, it dilutes it, it disempowers it, and I hate it. I hate it. And I'm sure this goes in this happens in many other lines of work as well, where people maybe feel like they can't talk about what it is that they do because somebody's going to twist it in some way, shape or form. There's a fetish for pretty much everything nowadays. And I am not a place where you can exercise your sexual fantasy. I'm not a place where you can project that onto me. And they need to know that. They need to learn that. They need to understand that. I did nothing to provoke this person other than show up on an online dating app. But in receiving those voice notes, I'm already having to think, okay, how do I edit my behavior? Do I take yoga teacher off my profile? Do I take that handstand video off my profile? Edit myself and dilute myself and not show up as my full self? And really, that shouldn't be the case, because in diluting myself, that's just inauthentic. If they want a small, quiet version of me, then they should have met me, I don't know, 5 years ago. But that's not who they're going to get now. And quite honestly, I don't know if I have the energy to be the voice to really action any kind of change. And that's sad in itself, because I know there's many other women who would love to contribute to this conversation, but they too don't have the energy, because it feels like we're screaming to a void. It feels like we're just talking to a brick wall. But something's got to give, surely. Something has got to change. Some consequences have got to happen, because that person, they were able to continue on with the rest of the day, and no doubt they were sending other messages to other women and ruining their day too. Okay? So I had to pick myself up yesterday. And thank you to everyone that did message me, honestly. I appreciate it so much. But I was the one that had to pick myself up because of another boy's shitty behaviour. And I'm so tired of it. I'm so tired of it. And I've known for a long time that online dating isn't the one. Okay, I've known for a while that I'm not going to meet my person online, because I am much happier when I'm not on the apps and I'm just fully embracing my life. I'm fully seeking out adventure and savouring every moment. When I'm online dating, it feels like a waste of time. Okay, it feels like I'm wasting my precious time when I could be out there living. And then the type of person I'm hoping to attract, I want them to also embrace life, embrace adventure. So the type of person I'm wanting to find, I don't think they're on the apps either, because I think they feel the same way. They see it again as a waste of time. They would rather be out there living too. So again, I've known for a while that I don't think I'm going to find my person online. And maybe that sounds quite defeatist. I don't know. Maybe, again, that sounds quite negative. But I just know what I want. I know what I stand for. I'm not going to accept anything less. I'm worthy of the fairy tale too, right? And I don't care how delusional that sounds, but I know I'm worth so much more than this. And you are too. And I think that's where the empowerment is going to come through in this conversation. Like, to remind you that you are worth so much more than the shit that you are having to put up with through online dating. Okay? And even the shit we have to put up through on social media. This is a conversation I had with a friend today. I am fortunately quite lucky in the fact that my online platform, I don't get too much harassment from weird, creepy men. I don't want to jinx myself now and they all come out of the woodwork and find me. I'm hoping not. But I feel like my platform has become a safe space where I can completely show up as myself. When some people come to class and I ask, oh, how did you find out about the classes? And they say, oh, I found you on Instagram. I'm like, amazing. Because Instagram, you get a real feel for my vibe, my ethos, my energy. It's not a diluted version of myself. You get me as I am, okay? And when I show up on Instagram in a particular way, maybe I'll be showing off an outfit, maybe I'll be sharing a funny story or something like that. I'm not doing it for the creepy men in my DMs, which, yeah, there are a few, okay? I'm doing it for my girls. I posted an outfit from the McFly gig over the weekend. My girls were all coming out saying, you look so confident in your own skin, keep glowing, keep being you. This is amazing. That is why I do it. Okay, because it's emboldening me to continue taking up space in this world. Therefore, I will continue to embolden you to take up space in this world. Okay, so it's not for the male gaze. I'm not here on this earth to satisfy the male gaze. I'm here to empower those who have been made to feel small, to be bold, to be courageous, to feel good in their own skin, and to take up the space that they know they are worthy of. So I refuse to be anything less than that. So maybe, again, I delete the apps for, I don't know, the 100th time. Because I am comfortable in my own skin. I am comfortable in where I am right now. I'm putting in the work for myself, investing in myself, investing in my future. But there is this kind of niggling feeling that I would like to find someone, you know? I would like to have that relationship. I would like to find the next thing. And I do feel like the next thing I fall into, the next person I meet and establish something with, that is endgame. I feel it's like a deep knowing in my bones, okay? I don't know who it is. I don't know where they are. I have a very clear inkling of, you know, the type of person I'd like that to be. And I don't know how I bring myself closer to that person. I don't know. So again, this has just further solidified that online dating is just not where it's at. I've thought this for a long time. I think most people who are online dating right now, and if you are online, if you're having a nice time, then sure, continue having a nice time. But I do think the majority of the time, those people who are online dating, I think it's just out of boredom. You know, everyone's there on a Sunday evening where, you know, things are quiet, things are calm. It's like, oh, I'll just go on the app, see who I can talk to this evening, you know, see who I can have a bit of a chat with, see who I can have a bit of a flirt with. And then Monday comes around, you go back to work, you go back into your normal life, and you forget about it. I feel like people are just looking for their weekend fix or whatever romance they're kind of hoping for, and then that's it. And that's not satisfying to anyone. If that is satisfying to you, then sure, okay. But no, that's not the kind of satisfaction I'm after, if I'm completely honest. And I've been saying to a few friends that, you know, I'm wanting to try the in-person. You know, there's these in-person dating events, and I don't know. Give me some hype, Huns. Should I give it a go? I've been saying to a friend, like, we'll maybe go together. She's currently dating someone at the moment, so that might not work. But, you know, I'm happy to go to something on my own. So should I do it? Should I give it a go? Should I throw caution to the wind? Should I try and put this to one side and still believe that there's some nice guys out there and try and find them? I don't know. This is the other thing I find, like, you know, I'm bored of having to sift through, you know, 50 tons of shit in the hope of trying to find that one nice person. And when I do come across a nice guy, it's almost like I don't trust it, because I'm like, okay, what's the catch here? When is he going to make that comment? Anytime someone asks me what I do for a living and I say yoga teacher, it is like my body tenses. It's like I'm waiting for it. I'm braced for it. I'm already anticipating the letdown almost. And that's quite sad, really, isn't it? That's not how it's supposed to be. And I don't know, maybe I'm just traumatized, which is fine too. That's okay. I'm accepting of myself in my entirety and whatever I have had to move through. And this is why I would love to actually talk to a nice guy and get their thoughts, their feelings of it. You know, someone who actually is in this online dating scene currently. And what are their thoughts about it? How do they feel about it? Because I'm pretty sure the boys that are going out and saying all these horrible comments, these sexually degrading comments, I'm pretty sure it's ruining the experience for the nice guys too. So can the nice guys also speak up? Can the nice guys also, you know, back us up here? Like, they're saying it's not all men, but it's enough of you. Come on. It's enough of you to make me want to just pack it all up and, you know, accept my fate. Which sounds dramatic, I know. I think what I'd love to happen as a result of this is for some, like, reporting system to be in place. So I've reported this person through Hinge. I'm yet to hear anything. Whether I will hear anything, I have no idea. And even, like, the most likely thing that will happen, he might be banned from the app. That really doesn't do anything, does it? He'll just sign up with another email address, another, I don't know, he'll do it in another way. He'll go onto another app and it just continues. I would love for there to be some sort of reporting process where they end up on some form of register. They get a formal warning. I would love for this guy to receive a knock on his door and for the pathetic weasel to just shrivel and feel the weight of like what he has caused, you know, feel the consequences of what he has done. Just a warning would be nice, because I do feel like a warning would go quite far, you know, in nipping some of this in the bud, maybe. Okay, and then if it continues, maybe they get placed on some sort of register, you know, their employee is notified, their employer, sorry, is notified. I don't know. Because these people, they exist amongst us, right? They're everywhere. Like, people present themselves in a particular way. Do we ever really know what that person is like behind closed doors and how they act behind a screen? I don't know. That's a scary thought, isn't it? Anyway, I don't want to leave this on like a downhearted note, okay? So the way in which I want to leave this now is hype me up, honeys. Should I go and try an in-person dating event to maybe pick me up out of this slump, this somewhat negative space, to encourage me to realize there are nice ones out there? And I know there are nice ones out there. I know that's the case. What I don't need is to hear stories of, you know, people finding their person online, you know, they're there somewhere. It's not that I need to hear, okay? I need some hype to continue living and embracing life as I am, and trusting that in doing that, I will find that person. I'm not going to find that person by hiding. I'm not going to find that person by diluting myself. So if you are in this weird and wonderful modern dating world and you are getting pretty fed up, okay, maybe you have also received some comments, and I'm so sorry if that's the case. No one should receive anything like that, okay? Let's change the vetting process. Let's change the process entirely. Let's flip the script, okay? Let's do things differently. If we want a different result, we have to do things differently, don't we, okay? If we want things to change, maybe we have to be the ones to action that change, okay? So, if you're fed up with the online dating scene, sack it off, okay? There's no point wasting your time. If you're wanting to actually meet someone, go out and meet people. Let's try these in-person dating events. Let's see what's actually out there. Meet someone in person, and maybe shooting off shot a little bit more in person as well. You see a cute guy in the street, walk over to him, you know, compliment his shirt or something. See what he's got about him. See his energy, okay? And that's something I'm trying to step into. I actually had a conversation with Danny about this over the weekend. We went to the Happy Place Festival, and, you know, something joyous did happen this weekend. That's something nice. And there was this group of guys that I think fancied Danny, and I was like, go on, girl, shoot your shot. It just reminds me that maybe we've got to shoot our shot more, because guys aren't coming to us, okay? And I think to some extent that is a part of this problem. Guys are now too afraid to approach women because they then don't want to be seen as a predator. And I actually do understand that to some extent. So girlies, maybe we have to be the one to approach men. But it's almost like a catch-22, because we don't want to approach men, because then we are potentially opening ourselves up to something. I don't know. It's a weird and wonderful world for sure. But if you are wanting to embrace life and have an adventure, have fun, go out and seek it. Don't hide behind a screen. Don't just go on the apps because you're bored, because I don't think that's serving anyone. So stay tuned, honeys. Maybe in a couple of weeks' time, I'll fill you in on an in-person dating event. Who knows? But yes, should I go for it? Let me know. I'll keep you posted. But let's keep this kind of conversation going, because quite frankly, I'm done with it. I know many of you are also done with it. But for some reason, we just roll over and take it, don't we? For some reason, we just keep on going. Something's got to give. Something's got to change. And if we want something to change, maybe we have to be the ones to action that change. All right, loves. Okay. Have a gorgeous rest of your day. I'm sorry if this one was a little bit heavy, a little bit of a downer, but these conversations do need to be had sometimes. And in order to live that fulfilling life, yes, we do need to go through the sticky, shitty moments to really embrace that fulfilling life, okay? To really savor that fulfilling life, okay? So let's keep living, keep thriving, keep taking up space. I love you. You've got this. Go thrive. Mwah.